What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Team Solemn Circus live video. On the left side here, we have Ice Barriers going up against the Mimighoul deck. I don't know what to say. This deck is going to get new support during the next list here. We also are playing a bunch of water cards in the Ice Barrier support, so I guess both decks get support here. We are going to be seeing Ice Barriers going to start it off. This is at the regionals, by the way. I think this is round 4. At table 1, we are going to be seeing the Minstrel going to activate the effect, discarding the Ice Barrier card. That's going to let us see our hand and rip it. We're going to choose to rip the copy of Nibiru here, and then we're going to be seeing the Ice Barrier going to be activating the effects, letting us search our deck for any Ice Barrier card. Minstrel being a pretty cool card, being able to rip the opponent's hand and getting that hand knowledge right away. We're going to see a Revealer being searched here, and then we can normally send out the Revealer, activating its effects, discarding a card to summon a level 1 from the deck. We are going to be sending the Swap Frog here, so we almost had access to a totally awesome before activating anything else. I wonder if they shouldn't have done that, because of the fact that they looked at the hand and it was just a Nibiru there. But we are going to be seeing a copy of the Gorgeous being summoned. Gorgeous can then activate the effect to bring back out the level 2 from the graveyard. We are going to link away into the Lancia. And we just pass on this. Okay, very interesting end board there. It's not what I would have expected. I thought this deck would have done a lot more by going up into maybe the level 2 or the link 2 Marincess monster, tributing it off, getting a bunch of other stuff like that. But Lancia Pass can be quite nice as well. We are going to be seeing the Lubellion going to be activated. I do want to apologize for the glare. Letting us search for a copy of Magnemite here. Now the deck doesn't have that many darks or lights in their graveyard, so they're going to have to find a way to either get another one in the grave for themselves, or finding a way to maybe stop that there. I can't see us dumping any lights or darks unless we're playing like Veiler or something like that. Lancia will be able to summon out 2 from the deck as well. If they summon out a copy of Gorgeous, going to summon out another one. Just all important to note. I just don't know why we didn't activate the Gorgeous effect myself, but that's fine. We're going to be seeing a Magnemite on the Lubellion, banishing itself, and we're going to activate the Magnemite effect. They're going to chain link to the copy of the Lancia to summon here, and we can summon out a copy of the Negate. So we have to send a card. Now whenever we activate a monster effect on the field, we have to send a card from our hand to the graveyard to let it resolve, or it will be negated, which is pretty cool. So they're going to choose to send, it looks like, off the Magnemite, sending the copy of Druisworm to the graveyard, let that Magnemite resolve, most likely searching for a dragon during the end phase here. They're going to go battle phase, immediately and just attack into that guy, making it so that we can still activate some monster effects. We're not going to look like we're going to do anything else other than set one card, and then during the end phase, we're going to search for the Mimighoul dragon here. This is going to be follow-up, because our opponent most likely will not be able to game us through the copy of Nibiru that we have still in the hand, that we added back off the Minstrel there. But we drew into a level 3, it looks like, a one that I don't think I normally play. We're going to be seeing that being normal summon. Now we will have the Gorgeous in the hand to be able to summon back out, but they have the trap here to negate the Synchro summon, which we are going to be able to see. So we're going to activate the Gorgeous, because we do control an Ice Barrier, and if this gets met with the trap here, it's going to be quite difficult. They will be able to summon out from the deck, which is important, because it is a monster. And we see Gorgeous being able to summon. Lancia could summon as well. We're going to go for the Revealer. We have one last card in the hand, but we choose not to Lancia. That's interesting. I'm pretty sure that Lancia can activate, right? I'll just pull mine out here. We see them think. Yeah, they can definitely do that, because if you special summon a monster, and it's considered a monster as well as still a trap. So we could have activated the Lancia to summon out from the deck. Maybe we're trying to play around Nibiru at this point, but I really don't feel like we can. We're going to go battle phase and attack, and then we just pass turn on this. Okay, so we can't tribute summon. We can't activate cards in the graveyard, nor can we have to set spells and spells before we activate them. This is going to be really good against the Mimighoul Dragon because it does search for the field spell as well as the Maker, which they are not going to be able to use until the follow-up turn. We are going to see the copy of Dragon being normal summon, and we also have the Were-Elf that was still in the hand, which is important to note. But I think they can just beat over the copy of that card there, which is important. You know, I really don't know if there should have been something we did maybe differently, maybe attack over the statue. We see the Maker being searched. Now we have 2 spells in the hand. We're going to see the Azrael turn into attack position here. And then they will be able to beat over that copy of the guy, taking some damage through the dragon, so not being a very big guy altogether. We then see the Were-Elf going to be activated. That's going to allow us to search. And I think Were-Elf is going to be a very popular card in the new Mimighoul deck. This is going to obviously be pre-support. But the next set we are going to be getting this weekend, this is going to be Sneak Peek. We see Archfiend being searched as well. It's going to be absolutely crazy for the deck. We see a Maker being activated once again. A second spell here that would have been very much liked to have to not be set. So we did waste our battle phase here, but it's not going to matter that much because we are going to be able to essentially just plus and just gain. Now they do go for Archfiend, summon itself out, and then we are going to go for the Lancier to summon out that copy of the guy once again. And we do banish 3 and they summon out 1 monster. We hit the Minstrel and they get back the Mimighoul card. We also see the Freezing Chains going to be hit there. That's going to be a very important hit for the Ice Barrier deck, hurting them quite a bit here. We now have Dragon as well as the Cerberus and the Archfiend on the field. We have all the old Mimighoul monsters. Now we can overlay it in something else. Now, if we had the new support, we would also be able to see like Slime as well as the Ghoul thing. And we have 2 XYZ, which is very cool. The Throne as well as the Giant Mimighoul, letting us search for more cards. So the deck now kind of does get hit with Droll a little bit more importantly. We do link up into, I don't exactly know what monster that is, but we're going to go for the Spell guy once again here. Kind of crazy that we just keep going over the same exact boards, hoping that we draw better next turn. I don't really know. So we have used both of those summons. We are going to be using, it's an Anima that we linked away up into, which can now take the Gorgeous. Then we're going to link away the Anima and the Minstrel to go up into a Unicorn here. Okay, I think. And then we discard the Nib for that. I don't actually know what card that is. I do want to apologize for the glare. At the time, I did not know what I was setting up at. We do see, okay, so that was a Unicorn there. We're now going to go up into an SP. SP is going to be banishing that copy of the Ice Barrier guy, which is going to let us now not be able to have any more. We go for the Mimighoul set to our opponent's side of the field, and then we pass turn on that. Okay. So we have a Archfiend in the hand, and no matter what we do, we are going to be kind of hit with that Azrael as well as the SP. We set 1 and just pass turn on this. Yeah, I mean, I probably wouldn't have summoned out that guy there. I would have summoned out another Gorgeous, which summoned out another body. Trying to let us have a bunch more bodies on the field. You know, they can only deal with so many of them at a time. It's also important that, like, they've already used those 2 spell cards that you've seen. So, like, the odds of them having a third, which I think we knew at the time they didn't because they searched for Archfiend, definitely just is not worth it here. We're going to be seeing the Ice Barrier summon out by discarding a Wade, and then we're going to summon out a token here. Because they just pass turn on this. Okay. And then we can go up into a Synchro. This is going to most likely be hit with the Azrael, though. Go for the Cheng Ying. They're going to negate the summon. And then we're going to talent, because it is a monster effect on the field, to draw 2 more. They just pass turn on this. This is not looking too good here for Ice Barrier. Mimighoul has burned a lot of the resources. They're going to set one and pass as well. That's kind of crazy. Why do they not want to flip up that copy of Archfiend, though? We're going to be seeing the Ice Barrier or Ice Jade card once again send the Minstrel to summon out, and they are going to banish the Maker to flip up that copy of Cerberus. And then we go up into a Ymir here. This will be able to be able to banish cards if they activate anything in response to it, but it's not really going to get us anywhere. They're going to battle phase attack into the Archfiend, and just pass turn on this. Okay. Interestingly enough, I don't know exactly where this gets us. We're going to be seeing a Desire is going to be activated, trying to draw 2 more cards, getting that resource game going. You know, our opponent is down to nothing, and we have now 3 cards in the hand, as well as a face down, which could be a room, Mimighoul room, which would seal the deal and get us game right away. We're going to see the Illusion of Chaos going to let us search for the Magician's Souls, and then put it back to the top of the deck. Then we are going to be seeing the Magician's Souls going to be sending. And we are sending the Illusion of Chaos at the top of the deck. It does not really matter if we kind of indicate. We already know what they have in hand. Like, we have very few cards in the hand, so it's not going to make a huge difference. We could even potentially even have 2 of them, which is important. But yeah, so if they chain the Ymir to a card activation, it's going to banish that card on the field and in the graveyard. So we summon it out, which is kind of important to note. All this does is get us more draws, though, which we are going to be seeing the Magician's Soul send the Kashtira Birth to draw 1. Now, that's something we want to talk about in the grind game. If you guys have not seen this deck profile, I definitely recommend you guys checking it out. It got 2nd place at a regionals, but in the grind game, this deck is kind of bad. You know, when you think about it, you have all these cards like the Magician's Souls, you have the Kashtira cards, which do like generate a lot of draws and pluses when you have no other cards on the field. But once you get into that grind game, you aren't going to have that much that ability really to kind of do anything against it. We are going to be seeing them go up into the Celine line, and their opponent's going to be activating a card in exchange. Then that's going to allow us to then talents to take. So we go for game that way with the access code, and then taking their monster there, which is going to be pretty cool. You know, bringing it up to 53, and then having that 3,000 body to attack for game. But we do see the Mimighoul deck end up taking it a little bit in the grind game there. I definitely don't think the Ice Barrier played it that well. I think I would have probably focused on other things. You know, they are playing the level 3 anti-spell in their deck. I personally would side that myself, but that's obviously just me. He's doing quite well, you know, being, I think, undefeated at the 4th round, or maybe this was a 3rd round as well. I'm not exactly sure, but we're at table 1 nonetheless, and he's here. Therefore, it's going to be pretty nice. Winning some games, I know that I think purely lost to it. Having to set their spells and waiting a whole turn before activating them is very powerful. So kind of funny that we did get hit with that. But we are going to be seeing the Ice Barrier deck going to be going first once again here. We do see the Medallion going to be searching for the Revealer. This is going to be a 1.5 card combo. I've featured this on the channel before when the cards had come out. I think it's a very good deck. Unfortunately, just a little bit too rogue. We see even the Minstrels being played. I think in the next set it gets a bit nicer with the water cards, but just unfortunately not the power that we're looking for. We're going to be seeing the Revealer being normal summon, send the copy of Swap Frog, summon out the little froggy guy. Froggy guy can then let us dump to game. We're dumping the Mirror Mage, which let us add the copy of the Speaker here. Okay, so not even adding the... Interesting. So we're going to summon the Speaker, and we're going to go for a Bahamut Shark. So then we can summon out a Totally Awesome here. That's a very interesting line that we're going to go for. We're going to go for the whatever it's called, and then we summon out the Mirror Mage. Mirror Mage can then tribute off the Anomaly to summon out the tokens, and then we can actually go up into the the Coral Dragon. This is going to allow us to have multiple draws. We're going to go Speaker, summon another token, and then we can go all the way up into the Crocodile Dragon. Crocodile Dragon, Chainlink 1 to draw 3 cards, and then Coral Dragon, Chainlink 2 to draw the 4th card there, protecting us from an Ash Blossom on that draw 3. So we see a +4 in this case, and now we don't have an Ice Barrier card on the field, so we can't actually go for the copy of Gorgeous. We do have the Minstrel to send, and we rip their hand, and we see it Desires 1 for 1, an Illusion of Chaos, and a Bestial. We now have the hand knowledge to know what we want to negate with a Totally Awesome. If we had this spell card to bring back out an Ice Barrier, we would be able to go for another line as well, but it looks like we do actually. We're going to see the Ice Shade send the big guy some of the token. Then we can go for a Lancia as well. So we do have the Freezing Chains, which can then bring back out the Mirror Mage. And then we just pass turn on this. Okay, so we now have the hand knowledge. We know there's a Baldrake, a copy of the Chaos, and there's a 1 for 1. We're going to be seeing the Magician Souls activate its effects. It's going to be quite fine. We see a Magician Souls being searched. And then we put to the top of the deck. We then see the Magician Souls activate, sending the copy of the Chaos. We definitely don't go to the top of the deck because of the fact that we want to make it so that we do not reveal that we put back to the top. We're going to go Lancia effect now, which is going to then allow us to summon out the level 3. So prioritizing the anti-spell like effect here, which is very interesting to me, especially when you have Magician Souls on the field. You know, you're going to want to send cards here. We're going to see the Baldrake, which can then force out this anti-spell guy. We're going to send the effect of the Lancia to summon out the Jowgen-like thing. The make it so they have to discard a card, but we can just go Battle Phase now, attack over the anti-spell guy, which is important, unless we're going to go Crocodile Dragon Pop, which we can do. We are going to be seeing the Magician Souls send only 1, and they have to send another card there. To sending the where they have to draw 1, and they just scoop it up, and they have kind of lost, especially with that Crocodile Dragon Pop to the Totally Awesome being able to add back as well, you know, and then essentially just like we're going to have infinity bodies. We don't have a nib, we don't have anything like that. We're going to be discarding for cards all the time. Like we draw 1 card and then we just have to start discarding for our monsters. Discarding for the Mimighoul cards is feel like so bad as well. You know, you do get the pluses off of them, but at the same time you don't want to be losing that advantage when you're playing a pile deck like this. Every card matters. Like, you know, we see those drawing, which is very important. But we are going to be going into Game 3 there. We did see that anti-spell as well as the little Floodgate monsters do come up, and as well as take kind of the game there, which is really nice. Lancia being a crazy card. I have picked this card up, and I think it's going to be good for it quite a bit. Maybe in some synchro piles, once we see them, the Fiendsmith card could hit a little bit more. Maybe Snake Eyes and Yubel take a little bit of a back seat, and we enter a format where it's going to be a little bit more fun. Unfortunately, with the new Mulch Army card coming out, Ice Barriers get absolutely stomped on. We're not going to see this deck for a long time after this. You know, this deck just gets absolutely shit on by the Mulch Army. You know, summoning 2 from the deck would obviously just get hit by it. Now, normally you're not going to be having 0 cards on the field going second, but there are some random times where, you know, you do go, you hold it for your turn, and then drop it on your turn, and then get those 2 draws as well if you open up multiple copies of it, which you are going to be drawing multiple times. So it's just not worth really playing here, unfortunately. But we are going to be diving on into Game 3 with Mimighoul starting off first with a Summon Out of Unicorn, and then we have the Birth in the hand already. It's going to be a 1 card in the hand that's not going to be the greatest, and another copy of Unicorn. Wow. So 2 dead cards in the hand of 5. We link up, and then we get to search for the Azrune with the Bunny. And we can summon back out the copy of the Unicorn with that Birth. We set another card here as well. And then pass turn on this. So it looks like we had an Imperm there, or a Mimighoul Room. And then we had 2 bricks. We do see a Raigeki being dropped here. Pulling something right out of the Tempai deck. I do like it, though, in a deck like this. Then we see a normal summon of the little Hexia guy. It does send from the deck as cost. They do Veiler this, so it cannot activate. And they do activate a talent to draw 2. We Judgment this. And then we set 1 and just pass turn on this. Okay. So we are now back to summoning Birth, with summoning Unicorn off Birth here. And we draw into the Illusion of Chaos. This is going to allow us to search for a Magician's Souls, which can send the copy of Birth to draw an additional card as well here. We're going to go Battle Phase Attack with the Unicorn, and they will be able to activate the effect. They chain Ice Barrier to this. I don't even know what this card does, honestly. I have a QCR of it because I pulled it, and I'm like, what the heck does this card do? I'm going to have to actually pull it up and check at this point, because I got no sweet clue. Where even is it? I don't even know. Well, Ice Barrier. When it attacks Claw, changes the opponent monster to 0, negate its effects. Also not changes battle position. You could banish someone level 5 or higher. You can add 1 wonder monster to your graveyard. Also for next turn, you cannot special monsters except water monsters. So it actually is quite a good card. It does destroy the copy here of the Unicorn, which is nice. And then we see the Azrune summon itself out to attack into the Hexia still. We then activate the effect of the Magician's Soul, sending the Birth to draw, and we do draw into a Dragon. This is going to be absolutely huge because Dragon can be normal summon, searching for the copy of Room, setting it, and just passing turns. So now we have 2 interruptions, as well as maybe even SP here, which we do see being made. Yeah, we have SP in Azrune as well as a Room as a Book of Moon type effect, and this could just seal the deal. We see the Ice Barrier card going to be banishing itself to dump a level 5 from the deck, and then letting us add. We're going to dump the Ice Barrier thing, or not the Ice Barrier, but the Ice Jade thing, then we're going to add to the hand. All this does is make a level 10, unless we have the copy of the we see Raigeki again. They're going to chain the... Oh, it's a copy of IP, not even SP. We're going to chain that to go up into the copy of SP. SP is going to be banishing the Hexia there. And then we have the Ice Jade card, which can summon itself up by discarding the big guy once again, which we are playing going second. We're going to be seeing the Mimighoul Room, summon up the copy of Dragon, searching for a dungeon, and flipping that Ice Barrier or Ice Jade card face down here. Let me just draw for turn. We can banish the Room to add back the copy of Dragon. Normal summon Dragon again, letting us search for a maker this time. You know, summoning a Mimighoul and Book of Mooning a card is actually kind of crazy. We see a search for a Room once this time here. So maybe we already have the maker in the hand. We activate the dungeon. At this point, it's going to be Ice Barriers into the dungeon. We see the Archfiend being searched for here. And like, we have this game under lock. They have 1 card in the hand. They drew their brick once again. They were going second, yeah. I definitely feel like I would cut that, wanting to see those better cards. But it is what it is. We're going to see a Celine being made, and this is going to be an access code line 100%. We have the spells in the grave. So I think it counts spells and traps as well. Maybe not. It's only spells here. So we hit a Dogwood on this. Okay, we are approaching close to time. But, losing your last card is Dogwood. That's kind of crazy. If they go into the access code, it's going to be... So you just... They gain no life points. They half their life here. Yeah, that's definitely a punishment there. We're going to be seeing a Gamma Seal over the Celine. And then we're going to go Room once again. Summoning out, and they're going to activate the effect. It did protect that. The Mourner did protect their life points here. But it just was not going to be enough. It did protect them by going half down. They didn't lose the game because of it, but they are going to be losing the game here because we're going to see the Maker. They have no cards left, and they have an Ice Barrier card or Ice Jade card set on the field. We're going to be noticing the copy of the Archfiend, which is going to be then flipping up the copy of Cerberus, banishing the Freezing Curses once again, and we see an Angler as well. That definitely is not a Sea Angler. Definitely not very normal. It's going to be a level 4 extender, so that's why we're playing the Bahamut Shark as well, I'm assuming. Maybe you're playing multiple copies of Toad. But we're going to link up into, I'm not exactly sure which one this is, a Nightmare Phoenix, as well as the Cerberus to go into the Unicorn. Unicorn's going to be able to spin back by putting the Droll. And then this should just be enough for game. We're going to go Battle Phase, attack, and they're going to attack with the copy of the Gamma Seal and their copy of Dragon just to clear the game here. So we see Mimighoul taken in a very weird way in that grind game, going up against Ice Bears in the regionals here. Playing some cards I definitely don't think I would play myself, but obviously they did quite good being able to get there. Unfortunately, the copy of Mourner was just, or not Mourner, but the Spooky Dog was just drawn too late, or else he would have been able to drop it earlier. But it is what it is. Hope you enjoyed watching the video. Don't forget to like, comment, see more content like this, and stay safe. Peace.